Today I'm reviewing the ASICS Gel Cumulus 28 and I'm also going to compare it to the Gel Cumulus 27. It's had a complete revamp, so it feels different on your foot from the bottom up to the top. I'm going to break down what I like, what I dislike, and the key changes to the performance, so you know if it's worthwhile picking up or if you should try and catch the Cumulus 27 while it's still on sale. Let's start on top of the shoe. We have a brand new upper, which is more breathable and more flexible. Because it's more stretchy and flexible, it feels like you have a bit more room in the toe box, even though it's still a normal fit on top. But we have lost that external pull-on tab, which is one of the downsides of the more recent upgrade. But there are definitely a lot of upsides. So when we move down the shoe, we've got the same sidewalls on the inside and outside of the heel, and we've got a similar width of shoe in terms of the sole flare and the amount of midsole underneath your foot. There's also a slight weight reduction, with the Cumulus 28 coming in around 301 grams in a size 12 US versus 304 grams in the Cumulus 27. So a minor weight reduction, but all the changes are in the midsole. So first of all, if we look at the geometry of the shoe, we have a really improved heel bevel, which gives you a nice smooth transition when you initiate contact with the ground. So it's a big change that we've been asking ASICS to make. So as you can see, it's much more aggressive than what we have in the Cumulus 27. Now we have a brand new midsole. We have the FF Blast Max midsole in the Cumulus 28, similar to what we see in the Nova Blast 5 and the dual bend of the ASICS Glide Ride Max 2. So it is much bouncier, much springier than what we get in the Cumulus 27. We still have an 8mm drop with 38.5 mils in the heel and 30.5 in the forefoot. However, that increased and improved heel bevel and the FF Blast Max gives a completely different feel on the foot whether you're walking or running. Now we also have a change to the outer as well, where they've added low hard rubber pods in addition to the fluid ride outsole. So some people had some issues with the durability in the Cumulus 27, so this should add some extra traction and some extra durability to the Cumulus 28. It's still a flexible shoe in the forefoot for those who need it, so not ideal for those of you who need some extra protection in the forefoot. Now, when it comes to walking and running, well, first of all, as a lifestyle shoe, it's really comfortable, especially when you initiate contact with the ground. It can be used for standing, but it's also just an excellent lifestyle and walking shoe. The fit is a little bit better on top, which helps. And then when it comes to running, I feel like it's a completely different shoe. Now, when we think about the Cumulus series, we always think of it as an excellent option for beginner runners, as an entry-level shoe, or as part of someone's day-to-day rotation. Well, I think they've upped the game with the Cumulus 28 because it's much bouncier, much springier, not as springy or as bouncy as the Nova Blast 5, partly because there's not as much cushioning underneath your foot and it doesn't have as aggressive of geometry, especially in the forefoot, as the Nova Blast 5. But it does an excellent job at giving you a really good ground contact feel. It's one of the fewer shoes on the market that hasn't increased their stack, which is a really good thing in my opinion. It means that it's not as unstable as some higher shoes, and combined with the slight weight reduction, the new upper, the better bevel on the heel, it gives you a really smooth transition from the back to the front of the shoe. It gives you a little bit of spring and a little bit of snap that we haven't had in the last few of the Cumulus series. So in terms of what you would use it for when running, well, it's still going to be your classic shoe if you want to do entry-level running, if you want to clock up some daily miles, but I do think you could do some faster, more up-tempo workouts in this. It's not as light as a Nova Blast 5, not as responsive, it just sits underneath that bracket. So those of you who want a versatile shoe that can do your daily workouts, but also some faster workouts, this is going to be an excellent option to add to your collection. I think personally, the only thing that I don't like about the new edition is the removal of the external pull-on tab, which wasn't really necessary. Otherwise, some excellent upgrades on top and bottom of the Cumulus 28. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, there's links to the shoe in the description, and if you're new to the channel, we've got loads of reviews on all types of ASICS shoes if you want to check them out.